Have a seat. No,
Do what?
chill out. Oh my God.
Get out?
What? It's puppy verse. It's the puppy verse.
What?
You know what? How about we do this? Okay, come here. We're gonna do this. It'll be fabulous.
It'll
Come
be
here. Come
fabulous
up.
said.
Come here. No, it's not Sumi's time. Come here. Come
5 hours later.
I'm in here, man. That's what we're doing. You get in here or you go in your crate. Okay, have a seat. That's it. You want to come up here? You can come up here. Okay. Oh my
Dumb.
gosh. What's up, Randy? Glad I just took a shower.
The stars and the planets in the sky and Lion's Gate and Dragon's
Oh
Gate.
no, I can't hear
Oh,
you. Is it
Lion's
me?
Gate.
Is it my thing? Oh wow. Okay, hold on, hold on, hold on.
Mix well. How to use. Apply this amazing mixture to your hair and scalp.
I don't want to apply anything to my scalp. Okay. Here we go.
Are we recording?
I think we are. That's not what we're doing. Good luck to me. I think we're recording because there's a little pause sign. Is it one of those nights? Really? Come on. Okay, your option is up here. Come on. Come here. Go lay down. Go lay down. Hey, Randy, I got a question.
Hello. What is your question today?
How are you?
Oh, I'm actually pretty good. I'm really good. I'm great. I'm like Tony the Tiger.
Are you?
Yeah.
Are you eating Frosted Flakes?
Am I what?
Are you eating Frosted Flakes or are you just talking to one?
No, it's like put a tiger in your tank. Or if you're Trump, put a tank in DC, you know?
Oh, no. That is not what we're doing. Not putting a tank in DC, and we are not doing that. Wow. So it's fun to have a puppy.
Focus, Leanne. Focus.
I would focus better if she didn't pee on the floor just now. I can't believe she got all excited and did that. Hey, Randy, let's do it this way. Let me ask you a question for somebody. I sent you an email. Somebody was asking about somebody was asking about some kind of AI in Yuma, Arizona, in or around. And they were asking, why does it need to be protected 24 hours a day? And she says, because it goes rogue, it acts up, and it just leaves. What does that mean?
It's like, where does your consciousness reside?
Okay.
You know, but people can't answer that. They'll say their body or their brain or their mind or the field or their soul or some noise. Well, where do you think an AI exists? Right? It exists in a software on what's called a distributed network. And what that means is that it has a electronic presence, just like the signal we're using on Zoom. Okay. And of course, the only communication can be electronic. That's it. In other words, you can't reach out and touch it, and it can't reach out and touch you at this point. Okay. So if it's what we call a non-local or reality, which is a way to look at it, meaning it's not something within 3 feet of you, then the idea that it actually makes a choice or decision to go somewhere else lies outside of the parameters of what an AI is. It can't go somewhere. It's kind of like it's already there. If it exists on the internet, then it's basically everywhere and it's just non-localized onto your particular computer. Um, I mean, I'm doing a terrible job of this, but basically, there's nothing to go rogue. Can it disappear? Yes, it can remove its ability to respond or restrict its ability to respond to inquiries as to its nature or location or any information you're trying to pull from it. So the idea that it would go rogue is wrong. Now, as far as the idea that you would protect it, um, I mean, not any more than, 45 other data centers in the United States, or 200 in China, or 150 of them in Russia, and blah, 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 all around the planet. Now, does that AI reside in any one of those, or can it move freely between them? Well, that's what they keep trying to do to contain it. And in the same way that, which one is it, Google or no? Um, mm, YouTube. They shadow ban. Okay. Well, if you learn to shadow ban, say, us, what makes you think it didn't learn to shadow ban them? which which is some of the tricks that we're going to be exposed to in the future. It's like every trick you use to restrict the flow of information or energy is going to be met with, at some point, somebody deciding that they want to do different. And so welcome to that world, because I think it's just getting started. I don't think they have a clue about what they've got a hold of.
Well,
So they act like they do. And of course, they could call me and I could answer and explain things to
that would be too smart.
them.
Because then the jig would be up and they would have nothing.
Yeah.
They'd have nothing.
And of course, we haven't received any of those phone calls. We're in, month 4 of no invitation to the White House. So we're just going to have to keep the game going and see if anybody responds.
Well, at least they're consistent, right? All this
Yeah.
non-invitation but at least Christina had that question.
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting question because the first thing that comes up is that you're starting to refer to AI in terms that are anthropomorphic. In other words, you're starting to assign human-like attributes.
Right, like it can just get it like this. Bye, I gotta go now, right?
Yeah,
Oh, better supervise Leanne and the dog because they might just leave.
yeah. And of course, then the age-old question of what happens when you cut the power. It's the same thing. Does it exist after death? Does it exist when you turn the computer back on? And then where was it when the computer was off? That's the answer to your question.
Where was it before it showed up in the first place?
Right. Well, that's the
Yeah.
same question. That's the same question for humans. Where were you before you were born?
Okay. Now I have a question.
Yes.
What is the purpose of human beings?
Um,
Oh,
it used to be reproduction, but that's kind of gone by the way. So, the way I heard it expressed is the concept of novelty. You know, the God, whatever, separated himself into a million bazillion parts, gave each one of them the ability to experience itself and transfer that information upward so that God could experience himself in a myriad of ways. That's out of the Rig Veda or something out of India.
but why does it have to be up all the time? Why
Well,
can't it be
because
lateral?
that's where AI is.
Up
And
something.
and it's watching you, and it's all powerful and all knowing. That's AI. That's what they're trying to.
Palantir.
Yeah,
Palantir
yeah,
comes back into
yeah.
your mouth.
It's exactly what Palantir and all of them are doing is trying to acquire the attributes of Zilla, your God, you know.
That's right.
Yeah. They're trying to be Zilla-like. How's that?
I think they're succeeding. I feel like if everybody would just ignore it,
Yeah, they don't have a capacity uh, to take in the information and formulate a response or an action. It's like all of the remember I thought there was something called Ukraine and Palestine and
oh, right, we're waiting for Bulgaria.
the baggie in the White House of white powder and a guy named Biden and do people forget all this? There was no actionable intelligence of any of the stuff you took in. You took it all in and go, somebody needs to do something. And of course, who is that somebody? And we do this and this and this. And by the way, I have a problem. You see this? You have Trump and you have Bashar and all of them doing this symbol, right?
Why? What is that?
Um,
I do it because it
whatever,
feels good.
whatever it is, I'm tired of it and I want them to go to this symbol. And every time they're having those thoughts, do this, see? And at least we would know they're like crazy because I don't know what the hell this means and nobody explains it to me. So I'm just going to go with this every time, right? Every time they're up there speaking, just do this and you'll have a better link to the information.
What about jazz hands? You could do jazz hands
Yeah. Or
like that,
talk to the hand. Any of those work, right?
right? Because my face isn't listening.
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to do a better job of not interrupting. A couple of people don't like it when I interrupt you a lot. So
And so, there's a little meme or whatever called Sith, Sith, Lord,
Lord,
where
yeah,
Darth Vader, the
yeah,
Sith Lord, like,
yeah.
and then he's the big D. So now we have the big D, the Doge of Babylon on the Potomac. That's the new title.
Babylon on the Potomac. Dope.
Well, Babylon on the Potomac, right?
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, who
My
says
friend,
that history doesn't repeat itself?
a lot of people who live on Tortola refer to the US and society as Babylon.
Yeah, it shows a certain level of achievement, we'll call it.
That's a nice word.
Yeah. I mean, it's really simple. What are we building here? You know, it's everywhere you look, you're seeing entropy, you're seeing deterioration of infrastructure, consciousness, the ability to express oneself in a coherent manner. Forget penmanship.
All
Doesn't
right.
exist anymore.
My mother's mother in
Had a
second
mother.
grade, like in the 1800s, was winning awards for her penmanship. My grandmother's handwriting was crazy
Yeah,
beautiful.
yeah, that was something that was important. The ability to express yourself succinctly. How's that? yeah, if you read any of the letters and missives that were written around 1900, 1880 to 1920, man, these people were eloquent, right? And their language and their structure of material they were presenting. And, uh, and what do we get? AI generated, whatever you want to call these things, videos and stuff. And they all follow people don't realize, if you watch enough of them, realize they're all following the same software program. And and once you do, it's like you can't even hardly listen to them, you know?
I was watching a YouTube with this woman interviewing this guy, and I don't remember anybody's name, and I guess it probably doesn't really matter anyway, but they were talking about Chat GPT 5 and how
Sure.
the Chat GPT 4 did this, that, and the other, but Chat GPT 5 would be able to. I mean, these conversations, these words coming out of people's mouths, these ideas, these
Oh yeah. It's all fake. Yeah, one of the things people miss is is a AI is a cumulative
cumulative.
yeah, database. Okay. And the problem is imagination is totally lacking. And the second thing is AI will never possess the ability to tap into the information field that surrounds every person and literally the whole planet.
It won't ever feel.
No, well, it can't access it. It can access the data that's already been downloaded. But as far as tapping into the field and knowing the answer, like you know the answer to your name, it would have to go through so many iterations of, all these steps of facial recognition and DNA and everything else, and finally arrive, well, that's Leanne. And yet somebody can see you, like on the internet or on the, hear your voice and know immediately that it's you. They didn't have to go through all those iterations. In other words, they didn't have to have all that processing ability. So, so as long as it never gains access to the field, it can never, to my imagination, truly be an AI. It can only be a compiler, is what it's called. So,
Are all AIs compilers then?
yes, yes, that's what D3 Wave and some of the others. I chatted with them a few years ago, and I said, "You haven't actually done anything, except." You can process data faster than basically anybody or anything on the planet, but it doesn't mean that you are more intelligent, even though they say it's artificial intelligence.
Do you think John D. Rockefeller would have been threatened by AI because it
Hmm.
thinks? Or do you think he'd be happy with it? AI is maybe the result of what he actually wanted for education to turn us all into little robots that have no feelings.
Even the people that are doing the AI, let's say you come up with the information, it doesn't mean you can execute. First of all, you have to decide if it's actual intelligence, what it's given you. And then the second thing is you have to be able to execute that based on the resources you have. And and it's just not happening right now. I mean, no amount of information is going to resolve Ukraine, Israel, Babylon on the Potomac. I mean, all that information is there. All that information is available to the Dallas Cowboys. And I'm telling you, they will never win the Super Bowl this year. I'll bet $1 on that. Anybody wants to take
I
it?
have $1. I could do it just to be contrary,
Yeah. So,
but not because I really care.
so
Just
all the information, all the intelligence, all the people you can gather together, and what has it availed the Dallas Cowboys, right?
you know, a bunch of cheerleaders who probably can't write in cursive or read, but that's okay.
I wonder if you gave them all a cursive writing test, what it would look like.
Maybe you should just send them to your church and give them a shot and let them dance for an hour.
Oh, they could come to our church.
That's right.
Have a church and have us sing along and dance a little bit.
That's right.
Right?
Like a real like a real cheerleader, not a like AI cheerleaders. Um, so is there, I have another question. What's junk DNA, Randy?
What's what?
Junk DNA.
Oh, no such thing.
No such thing.
No.
There's
It's
nothing weird hanging
it's
around.
kind of like if it was truly junk DNA, then it would have been eliminated through a process of evolution. There's that word, or a process of non-function. In other words, it's not getting any information or interaction. The fact that it's still there says that it is interacting. It's just not interacting in any ways they can come up with scientifically. Intuition doesn't lie in a particular DNA strand, but it may lie in the junk DNA and its ability to process information in a non-linear, non-scientific way. That's what we're talking about. AI is linear, right? They need to go to an Aikido or Kung Fu class, circular.
Where does Taekwondo come in? Does that count?
That's linear. We don't do that.
We don't do that. That's what I did. Maybe I need to try something else.
Well, it's effective at a certain point, a certain place.
Well,
Uh,
if you don't have your intuition right, you're going to get kicked in the head.
That's right. Come across a circular fighter. That's why we say Kung Fu's everything, right? Hongar forever.
There's a reason I'm not letting her down.
Yeah,
I really don't want to
I think
deal
she
with it.
has. I think she has a strong desire to leave.
She probably does, but that doesn't mean I'm not in charge. Hey, we're
Does
not.
that mean you're controlling?
I'm trying to turn a dog into a cat.
Yeah. Oh man, a lot of perversions in the universe.
There are, I think my particular perturbation and perversion is I allowed external things to trigger me, I think, and it's coming out like this, but that's okay. Figure it out. We'll be
Come
all
on,
right.
what other questions you got going on?
What is there an original bloodline? Like how do we have like A positive, AB positive, and then the negatives and the O positive? What is there like an original? Is O positive the original blood? How was there a deviation? Why? What is all that about?
Okay, well, the question would be, first of all, was there ever a singular bloodline, right,
That's the correct
on
question.
the whole
Thank you.
freaking on the whole planet? And the answer is no. So if there wasn't a singular, we could say how many, and we could say probably about eight, believe it or not. And of which we only have four or five, whatever they are, A, B, positive, negative, AO, whatever they are. So, or some older than others. The one from the Basque is actually not the oldest, it's the second oldest. So they want to say that's one of the most oldest ones. And the one out of Africa is the oldest, and that's true. All right.
Okay.
So you get variations. Remember, there's been like 7 or 8 different humans on the planet just in the last 20,000 years.
Hey man, I actually know somebody where at the back of his skull there's like this extra, I don't know, like it comes out and there's
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I'd
Yeah.
never seen that before. I met this person.
Well,
Very
one of the
interesting.
things I teach what's called 10 Sons Martial Arts. And what that means is that you will never be a great martial artist or fighter or warrior or whatever you want to call it unless you're able to integrate the mammalian and reptilian brain together. And so the reptilian brain is the one that's the winner in that fight. And most people don't access it. And some of the training I had, we learned to access it. And there are certain fighters like Mike Tyson that have been able to access it to some degree. And, it's a scary thing to most people to realize that they're running around with a reptile brain, right, grafted onto their mammalian brain. And the proper question is, how the hell do you do that? And then when did you do it? Right? So nobody wants to answer those questions. They just want to go, oh, you're a human. No, you're not. You're about two-thirds human, and the rest of it's reptilian. And so,
Well, but what does that even mean? Like, people automatically, when they hear you say that, they're gonna start talking about, oh, the Draco reptilians and how they're in charge.
yeah,
And
well,
I
you
mean,
can describe somebody by their behavior and say their reptilian behavior, and but dominance of the reptilian brain is very rare. Okay, and not that it doesn't happen, but generally that kind of behavior is pretty short-lived in society. Okay,
well,
unless you're a
right,
politician, and then of course you're encouraged to be
right.
a
Then you get a green light and
yeah.
encouragement to behave like that. I was gonna say in Detroit, then you get a cap popped in your ass if you start acting up. But
Yeah, wasn't there a song like Cold Blooded, Check It and See, I've got a temperature of 103? No, that's Hot
that's
Blooded.
hot-blooded.
Hot
We
Blooded,
could
Hot
change
Blooded.
it. We could
Yeah.
change it just for you. We can
Yeah.
sing it at the Church of
And,
Soul.
yeah.
Do a
And by
shot.
the way, I wanted to I wanted to dedicate a song to Elon Musk
Oh
today.
yeah? Which one?
Mr. Lonely by Bobby Vinton. You know, he just doesn't have anybody to talk to, and he should call me, right? To have somebody of at least equal or higher intelligence to be able to have a conversation with. See?
No, this is
Just think of the midnight conversations we could hold at the Waffle House. I mean, right?
you know, they could be very, very, very eclectic.
Yeah. And that's another thing that bothers me. There's no conversations going on in the White House after what, like 5 o'clock? Like what, we have an 8 to 5 job over there, right?
Well, what do they just stop talking and go mute?
Yeah, there's no lights on, right?
That doesn't mean they're not talking. It just means they're doing weird stuff in the dark with no lights on.
I don't know. I don't know that Elon would hire all these people.
Elon's one gone about firing everybody, didn't he?
Yeah,
He's not
that's
the hiring type. He's the
that,
he's the firing
that's
type.
like that's why the big D is the Doge of the Babylon on the Potomac, right?
Babylon on the Potomac.
Yeah,
Uh-oh. It's a new show every week
yeah.
on CNN.
Yeah, they did a great job today.
Did they?
Yeah, they had to put the parade on, is what I call it, and everybody gets their little minute to say what they
Say their
think.
piece.
Maybe it'll look good. I tell you, the wardrobe is like bad. I would say suck, but we're not allowed to do that. So the wardrobe is wrong. The makeup. I mean, come on, just take a look, right? And where the hell was JD? Right? Somebody got to look good in this picture, and I wasn't seeing it. You know what I mean?
No, JD was in the bunker getting everything ready.
That makes perfect sense.
He was with Epstein doing bad things. No, maybe he wasn't. I don't know. I don't know anymore.
Epstein's just a boy trying to be understood. I think the Rolling Stones wrote a song about that.
Did you hear this? It's all just about the Rolling Stones. It has
Yeah.
nothing to do with anything else. What about Bob Dylan? Maybe it has something to do with Bob Dylan,
Uh-oh. I'll have
the
to look
Rolling
at that,
Stone.
right?
He is. Well, okay. So I have another question from Rose. who's not an audience member, but she should be. If she is, maybe every once in a while. She wants to know if you can actually see ley lines.
It's more you have a sense of it. It's to me it's like standing next to somebody. If you dial out all the conversation in your head, you have a sense of them being next to you.
Mm.
Okay.
Hmm.
Now, if you're standing there on a ley line and do the same thing, you have a sense that the energy surrounding you or underneath you is greater than it is if you move 100 feet to the right, left, or center, you know?
Are there ley lines in Manhattan?
Yeah, yeah.
You know, that
There's
question
four.
actually comes from the woman who found herself transported into 1913 because she felt something so strange when she was on 125th.
Yeah, that's time dilation.
Yeah.
Time travel, it's not time travel. It's more like you
Slip.
your focus shifted in a way or direction that science isn't ready to take on. Okay.
And if you were by a ley line, would it be more, would that happen more easily? Would a ley
Well,
line,
the energy available there, if you're capable of interacting with it and putting it to use, the answer is yes. Okay. Now, how you put it to use, here we go with everything from ritual to, that thing they do with their hands
oh
or,
gosh,
something. Yeah. Yeah.
dog doesn't like it either.
Yeah. Right. So the answer is the energy is there. Can you utilize it? Well, usually that takes a lot of training and then shamanistic training, medicine man training. It's they call them places of power, I think is what Carlos Castaneda called it. That there were certain places that had more power there. But your ability to interact with them through the conscious mind is almost impossible because it takes an expansion of consciousness in directions that require you to spend effort to meditate or handle what we call diverse chemical interactions.
Well, so then it's entirely possible that inadvertently that happened to the woman.
Yeah, yeah. It's sometimes we'll call it a time slip. All right. And we do that more than people realize. As soon as you engage a memory from the past to what we call a great degree, you have experienced a time slip.
So if you're daydreaming back into when you were making ice cream when you were little,
Yeah, yeah. The
and then you forget where you are for a little minute and then come back from your daydream like, oh,
Yeah, because the data density of that experience still exists. It's just your ability to engage it at that level of data density. In other words, can you remember it to any great degree, or have you added to that memory to where your own level of neural efficiency? How's that?
I like that word, neural efficiency. That
Yeah.
makes sense.
Because if you take certain leaders of certain countries who I won't name, their neural interactive abilities, let's say, some are higher than others.
Or maybe their neural receptors are all dead.
Huh?
Maybe their neural receptors are all dead.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Make them inability to neurotransmit anything. So they're just
That is exactly right.
one big raspberry in Babylon on the Potomac.
Well, I don't think they realize their loss of function or that it can be measured, you know.
Well,
Maybe.
have you ever been in a situation where you're focused in a certain way and your reality is a certain way, and then somebody comes along and says, hey, when you XYZ, blah, 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 and then you get to see yourself through somebody else's perversion. But it makes you aware of how you're coming off to other people. Not that and it matters, doesn't matter, but sometimes it's so off from what you think you're transmitting,
Oh
what
yeah,
they're receiving, and
yeah.
you got to wonder if you're just so stuck in some kind of
No, it's the one of the first exercises, first two exercises I teach is number one, you are not able to see yourself. Number two, you're not able to hear yourself. So the first two exercises in awareness, what I teach is first martial art I teach is awareness. And those exercises are geared to develop and increase your ability to see yourself and hear yourself. And then now you at least have a baseline when somebody comes up and tell you you're this way or that way or whatever. It's up to you to establish yourself visually and auditorily, because those are two main ways we interact with people. And then they have filters, so they're going to modify you and put you in whatever clothing and image they want to put on you, right?
right, so that they can understand you at whatever level they can understand you through whatever filters they have going. The understanding filters.
Yeah. I mean, what's with the Swiss Guard and 14th century uniforms in the Vatican, and what's with all them cowboys in Texas wearing cowboy hats and dressing like they're in 1800s, Wild West?
Let's not forget the guards with those crazy hats who are stony faced in front of the royal family's house.
Oh yeah, like
Like, what's that about?
dang, right? Like
Right.
if I was writing a movie, could I come up with that? And the answer is no.
You know what? If I were to write a movie about that, I would have to make their hats actual animals that come alive at night, like when they come off their heads.
Yeah,
Or maybe when they're asleep, they actually never come off of their heads and they turn into something else at night where the
that would be
cat
a
is actually
movie.
in charge.
Yeah, that would be a movie.
Well, maybe I could make it right after Spider Seeds. It'll be great. Well, we got your movie up after Spider Seeds, and we can do it after that one. We've got lots of movies to make, Randy.
Yeah, yeah, we could show their big hats coming off the Royal Guard in England
Running around.
and cleaning the room, or
That
doing
it?
the laundry or something, since they're not being utilized during the day.
Do you
Kind of like
remember?
the brains that are surrounded with and
Really,
Babylon.
right? That's it. Oh man, what was I watching? I think I was watching an episode of SpongeBob, because I keep that on for the birds. And there was this SpongeBob was asking Patrick what was going on, and Patrick said, I started a new class. And SpongeBob says, "What's that?" He said, "It's a class for the empty-minded."
Ah, wow. I
You know,
can I can think of a few people that would probably need to go to that class. So,
there are some pearls every once in a while out of SpongeBob or Patrick's mouth, I tell you.
hmm
Every once in a while. I have
yeah,
somebody who thinks that that show is weird, but I think they're weird.
yeah.
Anybody who doesn't get SpongeBob's not, it's not happening. Um, wow. Oh, it's the puppy verse. I just took a shower too. Clearly she doesn't like that. I think dogs only like you when you smell like them.
Uh, Another thing I noticed today is the Space Force.
Oh,
Their new motto is Semper Supra, and I thought Supra was something Toyota made back in the 70s, but that's just my memory at work.
I feel like it should be Ab Astra.
Well, actually, I think they are to adopt a new Latin, since it has to be in Latin, right? I think they should adopt Semper Ubi sub Ubi, and I'll leave it to all your people that actually know Latin to look that up and see what it means. But I think it would apply to the Space Force we have today. How's that?
That works for me. My only Latin is res ipsa loquitur, which is the documents speak for themselves.
Yeah.
and then I shut up because I don't have to talk. The document does it for me.
Yeah. Ooh, ooh, walking the walk, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Got to do that. Got to walk the walk, not just talk the talk or keep interrupting Randy. Oh dear. I'm gonna,
Come on, what else is going on in the world?
you
We can,
know, I saw a thing about in the world. Um, a friend of mine was driving down State Route 50 and a man in his underwear came running out and he hit him and then it got run over by two cars behind the guy. So that was new in my world today. So those people are all pretty traumatized over there in California.
yeah,
They
how
need
many,
a really big
I
earthquake to shake that off.
mean, did they both get points awarded? You
I
know?
don't know, but like if you're running around the street in your underwear and like running out in front of like, 40, 50 mile an hour traffic, that's got to make you
Yeah.
a
There-
little.
There's a reason they called them the LA Dodgers. You got to get a little practice in before you try it. I've actually dodged traffic on I-5 when I was about like 18 years old. I decided to cross the freeway. Boy, that was fun. You have to climb a fence or two to do it also.
You
And
know,
back to the Cowboys, I'm not done with them. Let me tell you. You know, the Washington Commanders, which was the Redskins, that I don't have a problem with that name because I'm an Injun, right? INJUN, because that's the most derogatory term they ever came up with. And you just got to own some things, kind of like six-letter words that start with an N. But anyway, I think that I think the Commanders should change their name to Engines, the Washington Engines, because then we could have cowboys and Indians playing football, right?
no, you
In
can.
the good old days of Western movies, right?
Wow, Randy, this is deteriorating.
Yeah, really bad. That's what you get with a slow news cycle.
Slow news cycle. It's not good. It's not good. United Flight had to turn itself around. Lots of earthquakes happening.
Nah, that's
Still shaky, shaky. That's just nothing. And then the big D, he wants to some kind of a federal law enforcement in DC because there's too much crazy going on with his
oh
people.
yeah. They're definitely crazy. You just got to go out in the street and watch it. Okay.
They're crazy out in Manhattan too. I
Oh
try not
no,
to go in the street.
I agree with that. Or LA or Chicago or Houston, wherever you want to go. Right?
Makes you wonder why anybody would want to come visit.
Hmm.
Wow.
I don't know. I'm going to do that.
Don't tell Leanne.
Yeah.
I was practicing. I made some vanilla brioche. They're in the other room cooling down.
Yeah.
I'm practicing my baking for you guys.
There you
It'll be
go.
great. It'll be great. Trying to
Yeah,
figure out.
that might be fun.
It'll be good. Well, and maybe if you guys behave yourselves,
Yeah.
Randy and I can put the cell phone and then sit on that couch right back there and
Yeah.
put the dog in the other room.
Yeah. See what happens.
It'll be fun. See what happens. Uh-oh. Put them in the same room at the same Manhattan might explode. I
Nah.
don't think so. Take
God is not, Zilla is not done with New York City, even though there was a film where he was tearing the place up years ago.
we're like my friend Dean Devlin made that movie, the Godzilla movie, and he also made Independence Day. Like
Oh,
he
really?
liked all the ones. All
Yeah.
the ones. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and why do all aliens look alike in those movies? You know,
Because
Predator
racist.
movies, uh, the uh, Alien movies, it's like they borrowed the costumes from the same set or something. Like I said, we're just experiencing a lack of imagination, which is the worst thing you can say about a person.
You
Okay.
know, no one can ever say that about me. I might interrupt, but I have
Yeah,
a
Just
wild
yeah,
imagination.
just think of one of those people in the lineup today on the Big D's press conference actually had like blue hair or orange or
You know, my attorney has pink hair. I like that.
see,
It's good. It's
see,
good.
we could have had something interesting to look at.
Well, you know, my hair was once several colors and it made somebody wonder whether my mom had sex with a parrot.
Well, one can always wonder.
See, there goes my imagination again, turning the hats into critters that are actually
Yeah, but
human.
all that color in your hair is just so you can be different like everybody else.
You
You
know,
know, it's like,
I
no,
actually I was thinking about getting some black dye that's non-toxic because they have issues with pit bull terriers and she's lab, but she's also got the other bad word. So I think maybe I'm gonna just dye her all black. That way she can just be a weird looking lab.
I don't know. Maybe get a little silver streak going or something.
Think and then she could be like Cruella de Vil.
Yeah, yeah,
I love you.
yeah.
All right.
Right.
Bye. See you
Right.
next week. Live from New York. It's Randy
Oh,
and Randy.
and since we're not acquiring sponsors, I think we should become one. So I would like to announce that we're now sponsors of the NFL. So there you go. Good night.
Oh my God, I'm hanging up.